Greetings everybody, today we'll talk about first-gen VW Touareg that depreciated faster than the immediate change of very strong feminist to the girly girl when the shit actually goes down. Also, which one is the best used Touareg for you? And also, we will discuss all the problems of first-gen Touareg and how to choose good Touareg for everyday use. Let's start from little history. 300 German Spartans from Porsche, Audi and VW spent many hours to create this wonderful concept car. And in 2000, in Detroit Auto Show, they presented luxurious V10 diesel pickup truck. And everybody looked at them as I looked at my girlfriend when I caught her cheating, because everybody was expecting something else and they got this pickup. So Brave 300 went again to the production line and created this tank on wheels. And it's instantly won many awards: Best Luxury SUV, Best Sport Utility, Best 4x4, and Least Green Car of 2004 in America. Godfather of all car reviewers, Sir Jeremy Clarkson, did not like it. He said that it was clumsy and it had bad interior and he really gave a list of things that I do not agree on him, and also he said that the Range Rover was much better than VW Touareg, but we all know that Jeremy Clarkson likes to promote luxurious but not reliable British luxury brands. And even with the bad review from Don Jeremy Clarkson, the car was very popular. It immediately became one of the luxurious off-roader, and to enter this segment was not easy. It competed with BMW, Mercedes and even Porsche. Also, the car was great off-road. It had locking differential and low-range gearbox. It could take any abuse at any terrain without even blinking. It had 4 petrol engines and 3 diesel engines. The first one is 3.2 V6 petrol that generated 217 brake horsepower and later 237 brake horsepower. 0 to 100 happened in 9 seconds. After came the 3.6 liter V6 that generated 276 brake horsepower and 0 to 100 happened in 8.6 seconds. Also was available my favorite 4.2 liter V8 that produced 310 brake horsepower and 100 kilometers happened in 8 seconds, and also it made great noise. And finally, we had 6 liter W12 that generated 450 brake horsepower and 600 Nm of torque. 100 kilometers happened in 5.8 seconds and it generated this wonderful noise. Now let's talk about diesel engines. 2.5 liter 5-cylinder turbo diesel engine was as weak as Joe Biden today. It generated pathetic 170 brake horsepower and took 13 seconds to get to 100 kilometers. Another diesel engine was wonderful. The 3-liter turbo V6 generated 222 brake horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. 0 to 100 happened in 8.5 seconds. And also, Touareg was available with almighty 5-liter turbo V10 that generated 300 brake horsepower and 750 Nm of torque. And facelift version with the same engine did the famous jumbo jet pull. After it, all the world talked about the blue Touareg that pulled huge plane. Without the plane, Touareg with this engine could achieve 100 kilometers in 7 seconds. Also, Touareg came with air suspension that had coolest name, Skynet. Sorry, Skyhook. Can you imagine if they called it Skynet? That would be just awesome. It could adapt to any terrain, but it wasn't as soft. It was a little bit hard. Even in comfort mode, the car was a little bit shaky. It had 2 transmissions, the 6-speed manual and 6-speed automatic. In 2006 came the facelift version. It was much better looking and many things were changed. To be more specific, 2,300 parts were changed or updated. Adaptive cornering lights were available, the better air suspension, better ECU management, and also interior was much more luxurious. Tires were not as clumsy as the pre-facelift version. And later, there were less problems with the facelift version than the pre-facelift version. So, which one is the best for purchasing and why? Forget the pre-facelift version. First of all, they are very old. all the rubbers are old, and the car has so many electrical problems with air suspension that just die on you at any given moment. It's not as pretty as the facelift version, and in general the car will take much more money from you than the facelift version, and the difference between price is not so big. But in both of them you must clean under the hood all the leaves and all the stuff that can block the draining system. Water can get into the interior and to the electronics, and then you will just have huge car that cannot go anywhere. So always check the draining system under the hood in both of the versions of the first gen. Some electronics were bad in the facelift version also, like heating system could go just broken. Basically anything that connected to electricity can go mad, but you can avoid everything if you take the car to the VW, to the certified VW mechanic that can check everything through the computer, and you will see what is already wrong, or he will check physically everything and say what can go wrong, so you will be a little bit more financially prepared for that. The petrol V6 can eat oil, also the engine chain can stretch at 100,000 kilometers, and if you want to change the engine chain you must lift all the engine in the petrol V6. The petrol V8 also eats oil, but it's a little bit less complicated to serve, but anyway it eats a lot of petrol, very thirsty, and whatever you do it will eat oil eventually. Now let's talk about the diesel engine. So the 2.5 V6 is basically shit because it's underpowered. You will not enjoy the car if you buy it. V10 is expensive just to maintain. I'm not talking about if something breaks down you have to pay for it. Just to maintain it's expensive. V6 is the most reliable one. It's sounds not as bad. If previous owner serviced the turbo on time, changed the oil on time and used expensive oil, didn't cut the corners on the servicing the car on time, if he cleaned air suspension every 60,000 kilometers and also changed the oil in the transmission every 60 to 50,000 kilometers, then the car will be perfect. And it will not kill your budget. Just do the proper paperwork, check all the service history, and then you can buy it. Transmission can kick after engine is warmed up, so warm up the engine, then you drive it, and then you will feel it. On the cold, many transmissions just don't kick and you think, oh, that's a great transmission, and then after you bought it, yeah, then you'll feel some kicks in your ass. So after all that information, to sum up, you don't need air suspension because it will just die on you. You can buy it, but be prepared to change everything there. Definitely buy the facelift version, turbo diesel V6 or the 4.2 V8 petrol engine, because those engines are the most reliable ones and they will not ask as much money and attention from you than other engines. Automatic transmission must be serviced every 60,000 kilometers. Also check all the radiators, clean them every 60,000 kilometers, and check all the electronics, and basically enjoy your VW Touareg. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what do you think about my video and what do you think about the VW Touareg. Which one is your favorite? Also, I noticed many of you watch my channel without subscribing, and that's very creepy, so stop being creepy and subscribe. Take care and bye bye.